Welcome to EduRev.
Hello children, welcome to EduRev classes. Let me introduce myself. I am Sarvani Nandipati, a graduate from NIT Calicut who has 3 years of teaching experience for both board and competitive exams. Today we will be discussing the topic relations and functions. So in case if you are not clear with the basics, you can watch those videos as well. The topics covered are types of relations, among them empty relation, universal relation, reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation, and equivalence relation. Let's start. Types of relations. Among them empty relation. A relation R in a set A is called empty relation if no element of A is related to any element of A. That is, R is equal to null set. So, if you want to understand it better, what is empty set? If there are no elements in it, it is called empty set. What will be empty relation? If there will be no ordered pairs that can be formed using the given relation, that is called empty relation. That means from the domain to codomain, you will not be able to connect any elements. So let us look at an example. Let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and R is equal to ordered pair A comma B such that A minus B is equal to 10. Given AB belongs to A. What is the A made up of? It is from 1, 2, 3, 4. But what is my relation? If I take an ordered pair, the difference between them should be equal to 10. But what is the highest order pair that I can make here? If I take 4 and 1, the difference will be 3. But if I take any other ordered pairs, the value will be less than that. So it is pretty clear that the difference between two numbers will not be equal to 10 for a given set. So it is called an empty relation. I hope it is clear. Next one is universal relation. A relation R in a set A is called universal relation if each element of A is related to every element of A. That is, R is equal to A cross A. Similar to universal set. When do you say something is universal set? If it has all the elements in it, right? Similarly, universal relation means if all the outcomes that you can form on A cross A satisfies the given relation, it is called universal relation. For example, they are taking the same example. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and R is equal to order pair A comma B such that mod of A minus B is greater than or equal to 0 given A comma B belongs to A. That means the absolute value of difference between two numbers should be greater than or equal to 0. If the two numbers are equal, the value will be 0. If one number is greater than the other number, whatever you get as output will be positive because you are taking the absolute values, right? So if you write all the ordered pairs, the 16 ordered pairs that are going to form, all of them will be satisfying this relation. So here R is equal to A cross A, that is why it is called universal relation. And one more important thing is, sometimes they call empty relation and universal relation as trivial relations. So to summarize, empty relation means there will be no element in first set will be related to any element in the second set. And a universal set means all elements in first set are related to all elements in second set. In the empty relation, R will be null set. In universal relation, R will be A cross A or the Cartesian product on A. I am moving on to the next slide. Example 1. Let A be the set of all students of a boys' school. They are telling it's a boys' school. Show that the relation R in A given by R is equal to A comma B ordered pair A comma B such that A is the sister of B is the empty relation and R dash is equal to ordered pair A comma B such that the difference between height of A and B is less than 3 meters is the universal relation. So what they are telling, it is a boys' school. If you take any two siblings, what will happen? One will be the younger brother and one will be the elder brother, right? But there will not be any girl. If there is no girl, A will never be a sister for B. So it is simply a null relation or empty relation. Now what is the second part? The difference between heights of A and B is less than 3 meters. The average height of a person will be by around 150 centimeters or 1.5 meters. In that case, the difference between two people will be obviously less than 3 meters, right? So, all the students, whoever you take, the difference between them will be obviously less than 3 meters. Hence, it is a universal relation. I hope it is clear. I'm moving on to the next slide. Types of relations we'll be looking at some more relations. Reflexive relation. A relation R in a set A is called reflexive relation if order pair A comma A belongs to R. For every A belongs to A, then R is called reflexive relation. So, for example, the set A contains 3 elements 1, 2, 3. If it is supposed to be, if a given relation is supposed to be reflexive, what you are supposed to check? A should be belongs to R for every A belongs to A. That means order pair 1, 1 should be there, order pair 2, 2 should be there, and order pair 3, 3 should be there. Then only you will tell the given relation is reflexive relation. Check for all the elements of A should be belonging to the given relation. Then only you will tell it is a reflexive relation. For the example A is equal to 1, 2, 3, if you have only 1, 1 and 2, 2, you will not going to tell that it is a reflexive relation. And it is also represented by ARA, where small a belongs to capital A or set A. Symmetric relation. A relation R in a set A is called reflexive relation if order pair A comma B belongs to R, implies that B comma A belongs to R. For all AB belongs to A, then R is called symmetric relation. So what they are telling, in a given relation, say if A is made up of 1, 2, 3, if element 1, 2 belongs to the set, clearly 2, 1 also should belong to the given set. Then only you can say the relation formed is called an symmetric relation. And this is how you represent it. A R B belongs to R implies B R A also belongs to R. Transitive relation. If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, that implies A comma C should belongs to R. For all A, B, C belongs to A, then R is called transitive relation. So what they are trying to tell is, if the set, if in the given set, if 1, 2 belongs to R and 2, 3 belongs to R, order pair 2, 3 belongs to R, then order pair 1, 3 should also belong to R. Then only you will tell it is a transitive relation. Like that, how many elements are there? You have to check for all the elements in that relation, then only you can conclude whether given one is transitive or not. So if I have to summarize again, reflexive means A comma A should be belonging to the given relation for all A belongs to A. And symmetric means if AB belongs to R, BA should also belong to R. And what is transitive? If AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R, AC should also belong to R. I hope the theory part is clear. We'll do few problems on this concept. So, example 4. Let relation R in set A is equal to 1, 2, 3 given by R is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3 is reflexive but neither symmetric nor transitive. So they are asking us to prove this given relation is reflexive but not symmetric and transitive. What was the set A? 1, 2, 3. So to be reflexive, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 should be belonging to A. It has no 1, 1 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there. So the given relation is reflexive as the required ordered pairs are there in the given relation. And what about symmetric? If 1, 2 belongs to R, 2, 1 also should belong to R. But 2, 1 is 2, 1 there here in the given relation? No. So it is not symmetric. What about transitive? If 1, 2 belongs to R and 2, 3 belongs to R, 1, 3 should also belongs to R. But is there 1, 3 here? No. So it is also not transitive. From this, what can you conclude? The given relation is reflexive but not symmetric and transitive. I hope it is clear. I am moving on to the next question. Example 3. Let L be the set of all lines in a plane and R be a relation in L defined as R is equal to ordered pair L1, L2 such that L1 is perpendicular to L2. Show that R is symmetric but neither reflexive nor transitive. What they are telling? L represents straight lines in plane. They are not talking about space. Okay. In that case, they are asking us to show this given relation is symmetric but not reflexive or transitive. To become reflexive, what should happen? L1, L1 should belongs to R. But L1, L1 belongs to R means what will happen? L1 is perpendicular to L1. Can any line be perpendicular to itself? No. That means L1, L1 does not belong to R. So we can clearly say that it is not reflexive. Now let's go to the second part. I am assuming that L1 and L2 belongs to R, ordered pair L1 and L2. What does that mean? L1 is perpendicular to L2. If L1 is perpendicular to L2, L2 will also be perpendicular to L1. So the same thing, can I write L2, L1 belongs to R? If L1 is perpendicular to L2, L2 will be perpendicular to L1. So I can write L2, L1 also belongs to R, which means it is symmetric. Because we started with L1, L2 belongs to R and we are ending up with L2, L1 belongs to R. And the third part, I am assuming L1, L2 belongs to R and L2, L3 belongs to R. That means L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3. If it is supposed to be transitive, what we are supposed to prove? L1 is perpendicular to L3 or L1, L3 belongs to R. Look at this diagram. Here L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L3 is perpendicular to L2. What is are L1 and L2 parallel or perpendicular? They are actually parallel. They are not perpendicular. So what can I say? Ordered pair L1, L3 does not belongs to R. So it is not transitive because L1, L2 belongs to R and L2, L3 belongs to R, but L1, L3 does not belongs to R, which is the must proved property for transitive. So R is not transitive. From this, what can I conclude? R is neither reflexive nor transitive, but it is only symmetric. I hope it is clear. I am moving on to the next question. Exercise 1.1. From that, I am taking the fourth question. Show that the relation R in R defined as R is equal to ordered pair A, B such that A less than or equal to B is reflexive and transitive but not symmetric. So they are asking us to prove these are reflexive and transitive but not symmetric. So what is the relation they have given? Ordered pair A, B such that A less than or equal to B. If it is supposed to be reflexive, A belongs to ordered pair A should be belonging to R. I'll replace B with A and I'll read the equation. Ordered pair A such that A less than or equal to A. A less than or equal to A. Is it a true statement or false statement? It is a true statement because A will be obviously equal to A. So ordered pair A satisfies the given relation. That means R is reflexive. Now look at the next part, that is symmetric. I am taking an example 2, 4 belongs to R because 2 is less than or equal to 4. It satisfies that condition. But what happens? Will 4 2 belongs to R? No. Why? 4 will not be less than or equal to 2. What is the symmetric property? If ordered pair AB belongs to R, ordered pair BA should also belong to R. So this is not symmetric. Now let's go to the third property. order pair AB belongs to R and order pair BC belongs to R. Then if it is transitive, order pair AC should also belongs to R. If AB belongs to R, what can I infer from that? A should be less than or equal to B. And if BC belongs to R, what can I infer? B is less than or equal to C. If A is less than or equal to B and B is less than or equal to C, what can I infer based on the transitive property? A can also be less than or equal to C. If A is less than or equal to C, what can I say? Order pair A comma C also belongs to R. That means R is transitive. So what did we infer? R is reflexive, R is not symmetric, but R is transitive again. And one more thing you have to understand is, whenever you are going to prove that it is not symmetric or not reflexive or not transitive, one counter example is also enough. But when you are going to prove it is reflexive, symmetric or transitive, you have to do it in a proof way. If you give one example and tell me it is reflexive, you won't get marks, okay, in the exams. When you are telling it is not, counter example, one example will be enough why it is not satisfying that relation. But when you are proving it, you have to prove like how I am writing these steps. I hope it is clear. I am moving on to the next slide. Types of relation. There is another relation called equivalence relation. A relation R in a set A is said to be an equivalence relation if R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. If R satisfies all these properties, reflexive, symmetric and transitive, it is called equivalence relation. Now look at this example. Show that relation R in the set Z of integers given by R such that order pair A comma B 2 divides A minus B is an equivalence relation. Now look at this solution. So what was the relation? They are telling if you take any order pair, the difference should be divided by 2. And what AB belongs to? All of them belong to integers or simply Z. They are asking us to prove this is an equivalence relation. Before going further, what should we prove? If we are supposed to prove it as an equivalence relation, we have to prove that first it is reflexive, then it is symmetric and then it is transitive. Okay. So first I am taking order pair A comma A belongs to R. If I substitute A here, what will happen? 2 divides A minus A. What is A minus A? 0. 2 divides 0. Is it a correct statement? Yes, because 0 is divided by any number. That means if you take an order pair A comma A, it will satisfy the given condition. That means it is reflexive. Now, I am assuming that order pair AB belongs to R. From that, what can be the conclusion I can get? If AB belongs to R, it should satisfy the given condition. That means 2 divides A minus B. If 2 divides A minus B, can I write 2 divides minus of B minus A? I am just taking minus common. So, if I take minus common, here it will be B and here it will be minus A. If 2 divides A minus B, it will divide minus of B minus A. If 2 divides minus of B minus A, will it divide B minus A? In case if you are confused, think like that. If 2 divides 4, will it divide minus 4? Yes, the same logic. If 2 divides minus of B minus A, 2 will divide B minus A as well. So if 2 divides B minus A, what can I infer? Order pair B comma A will belong to R. So I started with AB belongs to R and I ended up with the conclusion that BA belongs to R. That means R is symmetric. Let A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R. If we are able to prove A comma C belongs to R, then we can say the given relation is transitive, right? But if AB belongs to R, what can I infer? 2 divides A minus B. And if BC belongs to R, what can I infer? 2 divides B minus C, right? So the same thing, how can I put it in another way? A minus B and B minus C are divisible by 2. If some numbers are divisible by 2, what can I know about those numbers? They are even numbers because only even numbers will be divisible by 2. So with this statement, what can I infer? A minus B is an even number and B minus C is also an even number. Now I am writing A minus C as A minus B plus B minus C. What did I do? I subtracted B and I added B so that the equation doesn't get changed. See, A minus B plus B minus C, minus B and plus B gets cancelled, so it will be simply A minus C. But why did I write like this? Just now we came to a conclusion that A minus B is an even number and B minus C is also an even number. That means this is an even number and this is also an even number. What do we know? Sum of two even numbers will definitely be an even number. That means A minus C is also an even number. If A minus C is an even number, it will be divisible by 2. That means I can write 2 divides A minus C. So it satisfies the condition of relation R. So what can I infer? A comma C belongs to R. We started with an assumption that AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R, and we are able to prove that AC belongs to R. That means the given relation is transitive relation. So what did we infer? We got R as reflexive, R as symmetric and R as transitive. That means it will be an equivalence relation in Z. That Z represents set of all integers. With this, I'll be ending today's session here. In this video, we have discussed about different types of relations. So, in the next class, we'll discuss few more problems on this concept. You can take a test on the concept of types of relations. You have almost 10,000 plus practice questions across all the subjects in EduRev Infinity platform. And all these question papers are prepared by NCERT experts. Apart from that, you will also get a national wide ranking so that you can analyze where you stand and improve your performance. In case if you haven't done the EduRev Infinity subscription, do it today. Thanks for staying tuned. All the best.